President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has signed the instrument of ratification of the protocol to the African Charter on Human and People's Rights on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in Nigeria. The instrument was adopted by the 30th Ordinary Session of the Assembly held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia on the 29th of January 2018. For more on this, the founder and chief responsibility officer, the Center for Ability, Rehabilitation and Empowerment, Dr. Chike Okogwu, joins us now. Dr. Chike, I want to say thank you very much for joining us here. It's good to have you here once again to talk about this. Let's start it off. Dr. Chike, before the elections we spoke and you held great promise for the president. Is your fate being repaid, so to speak? Let's start it off from that particular point.
Well, thank you, Tokwe. Thank you, Aaron. It's good to be back here. No hope. I don't even have hope to renew.
Okay.
That is that bad. You know me.
Yeah.
There's no hope. We persons with disabilities in Nigeria have no hope. If there is hope, then you want to renew the hope. It's a good thing that the president signed this document, the African Charter, and all that. But I would like to start by quoting the 26th President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt. He says, and I quote, "Knowing what's right doesn't mean much unless you do what's right." And I go further to quote the late General Norman Schwarzkopf of the Gulf War era. And he says, "The truth of the matter is that you always know the right thing to do. The hard part is doing the right thing." Here in Nigeria, President Buhari had signed the act into law. I was here and I said to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who I hope his advisors are watching, I pleaded here, and at some point I said, no, I'm not pleading anymore. We persons with disabilities are not beggars, so we're not even begging. But I said here, you have nominations for ministerial appointments. Kindly give one slot. Give 10% of your slot. And I quoted Ban Ki-moon, the former UN President General then, Secretary General, that when you give positions of influence to persons with disabilities, you have been able to capture 15% of your hitherto lost gross domestic product. So we're still losing 15% of our GDP. Palliatives everywhere. The other day at the State House, I think it was on Tuesday, there was the conditional cash transfer matter that was very vulnerable persons were mentioned by the minister, but I did not hear anything particular for persons with disabilities. On my way here, I had to buy petrol. Thankfully, I can afford to buy petrol, but there are so many people out there. Not just the cost of petrol, the general cost of living. Dollar is hitting close to 1,200. Are you kidding me? How do you want people to survive? Persons with disabilities coupled with poverty. So when he was signing this, I wrote a letter to the minister yesterday, Minister of Dr. Betaidu. I wrote her yesterday. The letter is in her office, and I hope she's watching. She missed the opportunity to be the mother of persons with disabilities when she was doing the conditional cash transfer. If one of those checks had been displayed and a person, whether blind, deaf, wheelchair-bound, whatever, and that person with disabilities got what he would have spurred hope. I am here to tell you from persons with disabilities, the community is angry. How many days? We're almost 4 months into the administration. Not one appointment, not one person is deemed fit enough to serve in the cabinet of President Ahmed Tinubu. Sir, that is an aberration. I pleaded, I talked to my colleagues, I speak everywhere, and I say, give them time, but we are running out of time. December 3 is around the corner. Sir, I tell you, and I'm not threatening anybody, but I tell you, if by December 3, I do not hear that we have got appointments, I will mobilize and make sure that we shut down Nigeria, where 30 million of us may not get to that point, but we are angry.
Now, Dr. Okogwu, your anger is certainly noted, but now that the president has signed the AU Charter on Disabilities, what are your expectations? Are you optimistic that now maybe your rights will be protected?
Well, when I started, I said, in summary of everything I said, General Schwarzkopf and Theodore Roosevelt, simple. We all know the right thing to do, but the hardest part is doing the right thing. I have the document here. If you go by this document, it's not about it's not about laws. The laws are everywhere. It's about implementation. Mr. President, I challenge you, sir. If Femi Falana could come on this same Arise TV, make a statement, and within 24 hours, within 48 hours, you did the right thing by getting the anti-corruption agencies in order. Nigerians cried out, and you did the right thing in FEMA. I am here telling you, sir, persons with disabilities are not finding it funny. Please, sir, by the powers conferred on you, protect our rights. We're 15% WHO estimation. That's about 30 million Nigerians. So many are dying every day. I know how many burials I have contributed to in supporting burials. I lost one of my own staff. Why? Poverty. He wasn't a disabled, but he was working for me. He was going home, and a trailer ran into all of them and killed the young man. I am bitter. If there was palliative, if things were done and there was transportation, young people will not be dying. We lost a lot of people. One of my staff was in that car crash that happened on the 31st of August in Nyanya. I'm short of words. I don't have any hope. We've lost hope.
Dr. Okogwu, looking at it closely, some would say the stories with persons with disability is not different from most Nigerians in terms of the expectations from the government. Because a lot of people feel aggrieved that the government has promised, and time again. Now, we're not just talking about this particular administration, but we're talking about subsequent administrations and previous administrations also, that the government has promised and have not been able to deliver on their promises. And some will say that's the Nigerian story. I do not want to believe that. But people still want to cling to hope. Are you hopeful that someday, somehow, all that the previous government and this AU Charter promises will one day be delivered?
The reason why I'm still here in Nigeria is because I'm clinging on to hope. I have the opportunity to live any other part of this world. First class life for that matter. But I've chosen to be here because I believe in this country that has given me so much. Recall my story. I wasn't born with a disability. I was going to the airport, to the Abuja airport on December 15th, 2006. Nigeria happened to me, spinal cord injuries, and here I am today on a wheelchair. It could happen to anybody. People go blind every day. The executive secretary of the Disability Commission today wasn't born deaf. In his adult, he was an adult when deafness came upon him. Dr. Chris Wanoro who is an ambassador with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, was in final year when disability came up. So it can come. And even the president is already inching close to us because age is waiting down the line. And the president with his age, I expected that he should be the one protecting our rights. I still have hope in Nigeria. I have not lost hope. It is not yet Uhuru, but we will get there.
Well, Dr. Chike Okogwu, Founder and Chief Responsibility Officer, the Center for Ability, Rehabilitation and Empowerment, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.